welcome back to T.L.C. Cares. My name is Jolene Cicchese, and I'm a registered nurse with T.L.C. Private Home Care in Buzzards Bay and Howard. Today's episode is focusing on Alzheimer's, and this is for anyone concerned for a loved one with Alzheimer's and anyone who is concerned for themselves. So we're going to take a quiz, so grab a pencil. The answers are A, very well, B, somewhat well, 3, with some difficulty, and 4, with great difficulty. So we're going to start right in. How well can you recall a list of items? If you have made a grocery list and it's only got 5 items and you forget that list, are you going to remember those 5 items when you get to the grocery store? Are you going to remember it very well, somewhat well, with some difficulty, or with great difficulty? A, B, C, or D. Number 2, how well can you perform simple math in your head, like addition, subtraction? You're trying to figure out 20% off on a clothing item, or 15% off your entire grocery order. Can you do that very well, somewhat well, with some difficulty, and with great difficulty? A, B, C, or D. A, B, C, or D is never going to change. Number 3, how quickly can you learn and retain new information? So you go to the doctor's office, and you didn't bring a loved one with you, and the doctor is telling you to do 3 new things. Are you going to remember what he said when you get home? A, B, C, or D. Number 4, can you easily follow multi-step instructions? Whether they're verbal or written, can you follow a recipe to the T, or do you just wing it? A lot of people can follow a recipe. A lot of people get a little overwhelmed following a recipe. Can you follow those multi-step instructions very well, somewhat well, with some difficulty, or with great difficulty? Number 5, how well can you concentrate on a task without becoming easily distracted? I am easily distracted by nature. It's just how I've always been. But are you able to talk on the phone and not get distracted by the TV or by the kids coming in and out, or grandchildren coming in and out, or family members? A, B, C, or D. Number 6, how effectively can you solve problems and make decisions? Say your dishwasher is not working. Do you call your daughter and say, my dishwasher's not working, or do you call a repair shop to see if they can repair it for you? Are you able to make that decision very well, somewhat well, with some difficulty, or with great difficulty? Number 7, can you accurately remember and relay information after a period of time has passed? If I give you 4 numbers, and I ask you at the end of the show what the numbers are you able to remember them? I'm going to give you 4 numbers: 6, 5, 9, 3. Number 8, how well can you understand and interpret complex information? Maybe a legal document, maybe you're doing your power of attorney, or you're doing your healthcare proxy, which everyone should have a healthcare proxy. Are you able to interpret what that actually means to yourself and to your family? Can you do that very well, somewhat well, with some difficulty, and with great difficulty? Number 9, can you quickly and accurately perform tasks requiring hand and eye coordination? Such as, can you catch a ball? I know the bigger the ball, the easier it is to catch, but can you do that? Can you catch a small tennis ball? Are you able to thread a needle? Can you do that with your eye and hand, just looking at it very carefully? Can you do that very well, somewhat well, with some difficulty, and with great difficulty? You have to choose one. Number 10, how well can you remember and recall faces? You see 5 people that you've met at the senior center, and you see them every week, and you remember their name, but you can't remember their face, or vice versa. You can remember their face, but you don't remember their name. Do you have a problem with that? A, B, C, or D? Number 11, how well can you switch tasks and adapt to a change in routine? Say you're putting around at your house, doing the dishes, doing everything, and the doctor calls and says he wants to see you right away. Your labs have come in and there's a problem. Are you able to switch modes, call your family to get you to the doctors, or are you able to get to the doctors to handle this properly? Number 12, how well can you organize and prioritize tasks or responsibilities? Me, myself, I have a to-do list. But if there were only 3 things I needed to do in one day, I think, I'll remember them, especially if they're important to me. I will remember them. So can you remember that very well, somewhat well, with some difficulty, or with great difficulty? A, B, C, or D? Number 13, can you easily find your way around familiar environments or neighborhoods? All of a sudden you're driving to Judy's neighborhood. You've driven there 1,000 times. You get to the end of the street and you forget, am I taking a right or am I taking a left? I don't remember. That can be a problem. So is that happening more frequently? Is it happening at all? So pick A, B, C, or D. Number 14, how well can you express yourself through talking or writing? I know that I can write very well. Talking sometimes is difficult, especially on a program by yourself, but I seem to be pulling it off. Can you do that very well, somewhat well, with some difficulty, or with great difficulty? Number 15, how well can you estimate time or the passage of time? You went to visit your friend May, and you said to yourself, I'm only going to stay an hour. And you get there and you're talking and you're having coffee and you're having a muffin, and then all of a sudden you notice it's more than an hour. You've been there almost 2. Are you able to cut yourself off at just an hour? Check your phone, make sure that you only wanted to stay an hour. Can you do that very well, somewhat well, with some difficulty, or with great difficulty? Number 16, can you effectively judge others' emotion? If I were to come to your house and you're making meatloaf and I don't like meat, are you going to be able to tell by my expression, like that? Or do you have to mull it over and ask questions to see what's what? So very well, somewhat well, with some difficulty, or with great difficulty. Number 17, how well can you remember a sequence of tasks or events? Say your grandchild made her baptism, then she made her communion, then she made her confirmation, and can you remember those in order? Those are your list of events or tasks. Tasks would be around the house. What did I do all day? Did I sweep the kitchen floor? I did the dishes. Oh, I can't remember. That is a problem. Number 18, can you easily recall and recite info you have heard or read? You found something on the TV and you're very excited about it and you're like, oh, I don't need to write it down. I'm going to remember. Will you remember? Will you remember very well, somewhat well, with some difficulty, or with great difficulty? Number 19, how well can you visualize objects or scenes in your mind? Objects or scenes. Say you're thinking of a baseball. Would you be able to picture a baseball versus a football versus a soccer ball? Which one would you go to in your mind? You don't even have to tell anyone that's around you. You will know in your mind, what is a baseball? Is it round? Is it spiral? Is it, more football? Like, is it big, little? I can't remember. Can you visualize objects very well, somewhat well, with some difficulty, or with great difficulty? So number 20, How well do you know your moods are changing? Usually we can't decide for ourselves. It's a really hard thing to do, and to admit it to ourselves is also another hard thing to do. So ask your family, ask your friends. Only ask people that you know are going to give you an honest answer. Have you noticed that I've been changing my mood off and on more than usual? Ask your daughter, ask your son, ask your grandchild. They'll be honest with you. They'll say, Nana, you're different all the time. With that said, I want you to tally up all your C's and D's. I'll give you a moment to do that. C's and D's put us in a little danger. If you've already visualized or saw on your paper that you had 5 or more in the with some difficulty or with great difficulty, you need to contact your physician. Primary care physician is the best place to start, okay? And if you have 3 or more with great difficulty, you make a neurology appointment as well. A neurologist is going to help you with defining dementia, Alzheimer's, or is it just everyday memory issues. Those are very important. You can also go to the Alzheimer's website. It's alzheimers.org/public health. That's a great place to start. They have an interesting article on 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's, memory loss that disrupts life, challenges in planning or executing activities, difficulty completing familiar tasks at work or at leisure, confusion with time or place. You don't want to all of a sudden think, well, where am I? How do I get home? Trouble understanding visual images and spatial relations. The visual and spatial will have to do with your balance. Are you able to stand on one foot? How long? New problems with words in speaking or writing. Sometimes I jumble my words, but that is sometimes me for talking too fast. But if you're telling a conversation to your daughter or son or your grandkids or your friend May, can you do that? Can you express that words in writing or with words? Are you misplacing things and losing the ability to trace your steps? Now, when I lose something, I always go back to the beginning. When's the last time I had it? Can you figure out when is the last time you had it? Say it's necklace. I haven't seen that necklace in quite some time. Let me think about when the last time I saw that necklace. Okay, if you cannot do that, and that's an issue. Decreased or poor judgment. Have you ever been a victim of a scam? Somebody calls and they say that they're your grandchild and they're in Florida and they need $10,000 to make it home, and no questions asked. Can you send it, Nana, to this address? Or can you send it via ACH? Can you go to the bank and have them wire it? That you don't want to be taken up as a scam. I know quite a few people, and I do know one person that lost $100,000. So that is very, very important. Do you withdraw from work or social activities? Do you decide, I'm not going to go to Thanksgiving and I'm not going to go to Christmas? They'll know that something is going on with me. Will I be able to pretend, or will I be able to make it through it? Those are some conversations you would like to have with your primary care physician, or at least your son or your daughter. And do you have changes in mood and personality? That's a warning sign of Alzheimer's. So take what I gave you today. Remember to look it over once, twice, 3 times. Know where you're at. Know where you're with some difficulty or with great difficulty are. Be honest with yourself. And that is the end of our quiz. Remember, if you think you are having an issue, please talk to your primary care physician. Ask him for his best advice or her best advice. At least talk to your son or daughter. Tell them that you're noticing some changes in behavior on yourself and you're a little worried. My name is Jolene Cicchese, and I'm a registered nurse with T.L.C. Private Home Care in Buzzards Bay and Howard. Our phone number is 383-3956. If you have any questions at all, I am a registered nurse, but I will always tell you to go to your primary care physician, but at least you can run some things by me first and get my opinion. So again, Jolene Cicchese, I'm signing off from TLC Cares. Have a great night. Thank you.